Alrighty, so just got back from the theater to watching Longlegs, and I believe it had actually came out yesterday. Today is July 13th. Came out July 12th. I got some of the information pulled up here. So this was an interesting one where I don't know why, for whatever reason, I thought it was coming digital at the same time, but they've been promoting the hell out of it. I've been getting ads nonstop, so from the trailer, I figured it looked interesting, so, I was like, it kind of vibes with a lot of stuff I watch. So I was curious to go watch it, and I'll kind of explain some of the stuff in the movie and then maybe go more into the spoilers. But I will say, just to outright say it, I think it's okay. I don't think it's terrible, and I don't think it's good. I think people are glazing it just a little bit much and overhyping it, but I don't think it was a bad movie. So, the premise of the movie, to keep it short, is that there is a series of mysterious murders, and they think it's linked to a hidden figure named Longlegs, because there's some notes left at crime scenes with a zodiac level encryption, whatever, with the name Longlegs at the bottom. And so there's a young FBI agent who's got to figure it out. And so it kind of goes through the story of solving the murders. Why is it happening? Is there something more nefarious going on? And kind of undoing the mystery. And so, I will say, the acting was overall good. What I really liked from the main actress is that, because I remember her from It Follows. I don't know what else she's been in, but she doesn't even really speak in the movie, but it's her body language that is so well done. Whether it's like a gulp or a muscle twitch or the way she's moving her eyes, it's just so well done where you're like, I know what she's feeling. And I think it's really good when she doesn't have to outright say like, oh, I'm scared, oh, I'm nervous. It's no, she can, because sometimes you wouldn't out loud just be like, I'm so scared. No, you'd be like, whatever, some kind of facial gesture. And her boss, I think, he plays your standard cop role. You have the mom where she's kind of crazy. I recognize that actress. I think she's the actress from The Walking Dead. She was like one of the Savior's women or something. I can't remember, but she looked very familiar. The cinematography, great. Reminded me a lot of It Follows. And I was worried with a movie like this, just from the trailer, that it would be really artsy, like, cool, you want to be artsy, whatever, but it's laughably annoying sometimes. Like, another movie I need to talk about, In a Violent Nature, I just watched that. That was a movie where I liked it, but there were some parts where it was so wannabe artsy, is kind of eye-rolling. But great camera angles, great setups. A few times it annoyed the shit out of me because they would purposely do a traditional camera angle where, let's say, it's a person sitting at their desk with a open door behind them or something behind them. So the camera's maybe right here, angled from below up. And so you see their face, they're writing something, and it's panning to the door. So you're thinking, are you trying to show me something? But nothing ever happens. But it's this annoying lingering on that open area of the shot where one corner is the actual person, and then the rest is just an open wide shot where you're thinking, well, why are you showing me this if there's actually nothing to it? And they do that a couple times or a few times where I was like, oh, am I supposed to be seeing something? Oh no, it's just an open wide shot for no fucking reason. I don't think there's really a soundtrack. I think I hear them playing like in the movie a song once, but there's really like no music or anything besides the subtle, like, like your stereotypical thriller noises. So I feel like I've seen a lot of movies more and more do that lately, where there's less and less like music and it's more just sounds from the movie. And I will say, like, the sound of things in the movie was well done. Like the footsteps, just the sounds of knocking and people walking, everything was really like crisp and well done. Now, I guess it's hard for me to not go into spoilers going forward. So I guess overall, great cinematography, overall great acting. I think it started really good and then kind of plateaued, and then at the very end it was like, okay. I felt like it was maybe trying to be either too many things or abruptly changed into another thing. But that's it for the non-spoiler part. If you want to stop there, you're more than welcome to. But for the spoiler part, so Nicolas Cage as Longlegs. I liked in the beginning where you didn't see his face, or maybe you saw like right here, and you're like, hello. He does the whoo. Because in the trailer you're like, oh my god, maybe he's this like ghostly entity. His facial prosthetic looks really fucking stupid. I don't understand why, if he's supposed to be a pale man, why they couldn't make him fully pale. They do this weird shit where he has like a swollen face that's looks overtly painted white, while his hands are like normal human, pink colored hands. And I don't recall them establishing like, oh, he paints his face or anything. But they kept saying the pale man, whatever. And then it cut to his hands and they look normal. And so it looked like blatantly painted. So I wish they could have done a little bit better on the prosthetic and makeup. And they kept kind of doing a weird thing where, you'd maybe see his face for a split second, but it'd cut off and go back to a scene where it's like this or from here down. But then they'd show his face and you're like, oh, okay, that's what he looks like. And then the next scene with him, it goes back to like, ooh, what does he look like? It's like, but you already showed me what he looks like. So, like, why are we still doing this? Like, ooh, what's he look like? Just thought that was a little odd. From the get-go, I mean, within the first, 10, 15 minutes, you're just like, because, it's subtle things. Because, you find out that the girl is clairvoyant or whatever, psychic. And my wife actually pointed out, I didn't think about it right from the beginning, when they're like, we've chosen your partners at random or whatever, so there's no, like, nobody feels left out. You see the girl kind of look confused, and she looks over at a guy, and it's like she knew already that he was her partner before they even like gave out the list. So you're like, oh, okay. And then they're looking for like a killer or something, so they go to some suburb, and he's like, I'm gonna start knocking on doors, her partner. And she gets out of the car and she's kind of looking around, zooms into like a rooftop of a house, and she, kind of zones out all the other noise and is thinking like, that's the house. And the guy was like, well, what's your proof? And she was like, I don't know. I just know that there's some, that he's there. So the partner's like, okay, you fucking whatever, dude. Walks up to the front door and is like, hello, sir. Boom, shot right in the head. And so she goes in, or they arrest the guy, and then they're trying to figure out like, well, how did you know? And so I guess they have like, anybody watching who's in the FBI, you tell me, they have like a test for her to take, and it's like a half a second image. It's like, tell me what you think, and then it's like, out of a number from 0 to 100 or whatever, guess the number. And she does enough of a well enough job that they're thinking she's might be like clairvoyant or whatever. And I thought that would play into it a little bit more. I mean, Maybe it's what helps her with her detective skills, but I was like, okay. And like I said earlier, from the get-go, I feel like it starts really strong, where it's like this murder mystery. Kind of reminded me of True Detective just a little bit. There's a scene where, you know, 'cause she lives in like a log cabin in the woods or something. I was really confused by that. But, because I think this movie also takes place in the 90s, roughly. Mid to early 90s, I think. But she lives in like a cabin with all her curtains open at night with no outside lights on, which is kind of crazy. You think if you're an FBI agent, you'd probably, you know, close your curtains at least. But, you know, the door knocks and it's all creepy. She's looks out the window. Bam, there's a shadow. She thinks it's Longlegs. Goes out there. She's like, man, what the fuck? Turns around and there's a man walking in her house. You know, just creepy stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah, that's what I think I saw that from the trailer. I thought, this is going to be great. You know, I really like this creepy back and forth. Stuff like that kind of dies down because the movie's split into 3 chapters. It really like dies down after that, and then starts going into, well, maybe this is magic, you know, black magic, whatever. And I was thinking, well, it would be interesting if it was just a murderer and they think it's magic, or we're about to go full, like, you know, I don't know, spirit, like possession, or, you know, there's a demon, or it's like, you know, some kind of crazy human thing, some kind of entity, cryptid, whatever. And it starts unraveling the mystery. Basically, you know, there's a pattern of where the murders are, and it always happens like 6 days before or after someone with a birthday on like the 14th of any month. And you know, she starts putting it together, drawing a picture, and she had read it somewhere in the Bible when she opened it, or like a satanic Bible or something, where it's like an upside down triangle. So she writes all the dates on a piece of paper, draws the shape matching all the dates, and it's a perfect upside down triangle. And they're basically, what it turns out to be is that Longlegs is a Satanist who uses demonic magic and puts demonic like essence into a ball in the head of a doll that is given to families, and the essence basically corrupts the minds of the families to then kill, like it's always the dad killing the family. And it's basically like a sacrificial ritual to appease Satan, because Longlegs will be like, I'm a friend of the man downstairs. I was like, okay, well, they already said the Satanist thing, so I assume by man downstairs he means Satan. But basically turns from murder mystery, like detective stuff, to full on like, oh, it's like an occult thing, but they don't really go far into it where there's like no demon or like anything. They're just like, oh, he does demonic magic. And I don't know. For me personally, I just felt like it could have just been magic, because when they say it's demonic magic and, you know, hail Satan, whatever, I was like, but you're not mentioning any demons or, you know, anything like that. You don't hear any demons. I thought the implication would have been that Longlegs was like infused with a demon or something. That's why he looks all fucked up. There was one part towards the end of the movie where she picks up a phone and it sounds like a demon talking. And so all I could think is, are there demons? Was that a thing? I don't know, because they don't, you don't see that before. And so I just felt like it started off as a cop kind of thing, and then turned into an occult thing. And it turns out her mom was the accomplice for Longlegs, because Longlegs was going to kill the daughter, which is actually the main cop. But he was like, you have a choice, you know, either help me kill other families for the ritual, or I'm going to kill your daughter. And so the mom was like, well, you know, I'm going to help you. So the mom would dress up as a nun, take those dark essence dolls to the families, and start the whole thing. And I guess she believes that even after, because Longlegs basically kills himself, and then, you know, right before he does, he's like, "Hail Satan!" Woo! Bashes his head on the table. But yeah, the mom, you know, is basically like, I have to keep continuing his work, but you're also like, because the mom thinks they're going to burn in hell. You know, if you just destroy the dolls, then there's no more essence left. Because the mom destroys the doll that was in their home, and you see like a black fog come out of the head of the main lady. So you're like, oh, okay, you know, that corruption is gone. But, yeah, and then going back to Nicolas Cage, and I know I'm all over the place, but it's just kind of like some of the mental notes I was taking. But Nicolas Cage's acting, it started off creepy, and then everybody in the theater was laughing, even though the scene was supposed to be serious. And it sucks because if they would have just dialed it down, it would have been perfect. But no, they had to do like the, oh, Nicolas Cage is so good at freak out scenes, and it just felt like every other Nicolas Cage is famous for freak out scenes. There's a scene that I thought was, you know, really creepy where he's going to a pharmacy, and the girl at the counter is like, oh, can I help you? And he puts his hands like this, and he's slowly like doing this, like this just creepy thing. I was like, okay, I like that, you know. It's subtle, it's creepy as fuck. But then, you know, when he finally gets arrested, he's just full on like, some of the parts I had a hard time understanding what he was saying, but B, you know, just overly like, oh mama, you know, hail Satan, ooh. And could have been better. The end, I think, has a relatively good closing. Didn't seem like it was like a cliffhanger or anything. It was just like, girl kills her mom. Her cop boss kills his wife because there's a doll there. She kills the cop, and then their daughter, she is like, let's go, but she can't stop looking at the dark essence doll, and it just cuts. But overall, it sucks because the way the movie was filmed and the tone is something I love. It just reminded me of like It Follows and stuff like that, and it just sucks that, you know, if you're gonna go into the occult thing and like demons and magic, I just wish they would have just fully gone into that, where, you know, because it just seemed very like, oh, he's just some dude who found a Satanist book and now he's got magic powers. That, huh? There's no demon helping him or nothing. Okay, but would I recommend this movie? You know, and this is what I told my wife. It's tough because I think a lot of people, if I outright say that this movie like sucked, or, you know, like I'm saying now, I think okay, it's fine. They're gonna be on their Reddit armchairs saying, you know, you're not media illiterate. You know, media literacy, like, oh, you can't appreciate art. It's like, no, I can. I don't mind movies like this, but it just didn't seem consistent. And so I would like to see more from this director, Osgood Perkins. I don't think I've seen any of the movies he's ever directed. I saw a list and I don't recognize them, but I think he has good ideas. I just wish they were a little bit more fleshed out. But I would say I recommend this movie in a sense of, go watch it for yourself. You know, again, this is just my opinion. If you think I'm wrong, then okay. Like, I'm wrong in your eyes, you enjoyed the movie, fuck yeah. That's all there is to it. For me personally, I would not watch this movie again. I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather go watch, you know, It Follows or whatever. But yeah, I think some people are going to really like this movie. I think some people will think it was okay and never watch it again. And I honestly think some people really fucking hate it. So it's all up to you. Go give it a watch if you want. But for now, that's it for me. I'm out.